In some problems, you'll be asked to write the equation of a line that is parallel to a given line and that goes through a particular point. So if you look on your practice worksheet, starting at question 7, we have these directions. Write an equation parallel to the given line that goes through the point shown. This problem is also the same problem that we skipped on the mile marker homework last night. So mile marker practice 1, number 2, you should be able to go back and do that after this tutorial. Okay, so the first thing we need is to identify the slope of the current equation because we said we know parallel lines have the same slope. So if this is in y equals mx plus b or slope-intercept form, the slope we know is the number 3. So the slope of this line is 3, positive 3. So if you're going to write the equation of a line parallel to that, what we know so far of our parallel line is that the slope is 3. The only other thing that we need to know is what is the y-intercept. Oops, that's supposed to be a question mark. All right, there is a way to find out what the y-intercept is using algebra. Here is what you're going to do. You are going to take this equation and we're going to think of it as being in y equals mx plus b form, where we know that m is 3, x is x. We still don't know what b is. But you know that there is an x and a y value that you are given that is on this line. And remember from algebra, because if you think of this as a function, if you input -6 in a function, the output in this case would be 2 if the point -6, 2 is on the line. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the x value of -6 and substitute that in this equation for x. We're going to take the y value of 2 and substitute that in this equation for y. So let's see what happens. All right, so we know that our output is 2 when we do 3 times -6, our input, and we add b to that. We don't know what b is, but we're going to add b to that. We've just made an equation with one variable. The variable is b. So we're going to multiply these two numbers now. -6 times 3 is -18. So 2 equals -18 plus b. All right, now it's just a one-step equation. We want to get b isolated, so we could add +18 to both sides. We know that's our addition property of equality. When we do that, we now get 20 on the left is equal to b. So what we did is we found our y-intercept. So the equation that's parallel to the given line, our given line was 3x plus 2, and goes through the point -6, 2, is going to be y equals 3x plus 20, because we figured out that b, or y-intercept, is equal to 20. To summarize those steps that we just did, we said that we're first going to identify the slope because we know parallel lines have the same slope. Then we're going to substitute the x and y values for that point that we were given into the y equals mx plus b equation. Remember, your slope from step 1 is your m, so now we have an x and a y. Lastly, your only variable should be b, the y-intercept. We will use algebra to solve for b.